All right, hey, it's John Lamberton here. We're in the Woodshed. This is episode number 7. Today we're going to be continuing where we left off last time with the composite rhythms and using composite rhythms as a way to practice polyrhythms or other complex rhythmic grids. And we'll be playing around with 5 against 7 as a polyrhythm and exploring some ways to get these under your fingers, wrap your mind around it, etc. So let's get started. So here's a very generic way to represent 5 against 7. So we have 5 slightly larger pulses on the top and then 7 slightly smaller ones. And basically, it's going to, however we do this, it's going to come out to be 5 groups of 7 or 7 groups of 5. And we might think of it like this, where it's, each thing is like a bar of 7 or a bar of 5, and we repeat it like 5 bars of 7 or 7 bars of 5. But we might also see something like this, where inevitably we'd be putting it into a tuplet. And this is maybe the nicest way to put it in standard notation, but at the same time, it doesn't really give us a sense of how those relate and how they interlock with each other in the full cycle. We just see 5 and 7. Sort of makes it seem easier than it is when what we're dealing with is something that has a 35 unit cycle, because it's going to be either way, it's going to be 5 times 7 or 7 times 5. And so, we could do it like this instead. And this is not a standard method of notation, but I kind of like it because it gives us a way to do a grid where we see, okay, each of these is a rhythmic impulse that's even, and we see when it's hit and when it's sort of just felt or thought about as a reference unit. And then we could do what we did last time and make a composite rhythm. And so here you can see that these are groups of 5, but then I've made the accent mark follow the 7, or the 5 that is groups of 7. And so this is a nice way to do it. And you can see that there are the 2 notes here at the beginning that are aligned, and then it takes 35 units to resolve. But when you see 5 groups of 16th notes, it's a little bit odd because we're used to seeing 16th notes as groups of 4. And so we could take another step basically, and we could group it into 4 and just have this little extra adjustment bar at the end. So this is what I'd call like a Meshuggahism, where we take whatever meter we're in and we fit it into 4/4 as much as possible, and then just make a correction at the last minute. So we could take that rhythm that we just had there and we could basically make it legato. So instead of having, note, rest, 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 note, rest, note, we could just have it be full sustained notes. You could add in the accent marks again, but we'll have 2 bars of 4/4 here because, again, the cycle is 35 units. And so how many times can you fit 4/4 into 35/16? Well, you can fit it twice, but then there's 3/16 left over. So this is honestly probably the easiest way to notate this so that you could have people successfully sight read it. So what would this sound like? Well, it's actually pretty straightforward. So if we have, say, a 16th note pulse of da, 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 da. So this is our quarter note here. 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 1 2 3 1. Okay, so we could then just have this rhythm going, which is da 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 and that is actually pretty easy to read because it doesn't make you even realize that it's 5 against 7 until you sort of crunch the numbers and see what's going on. So this is again what I'd call a Meshuggahism. It's just a nice way to sort of make these things parsable. And here you can see it with that grid over the top again and how it would line up. Okay, so hopefully this is helpful. We'll be exploring more complex rhythmic content like this in the future. So let me know if you have any questions, and thanks for watching.